Well, g'day there everyone. Today I'm coming at you from my computer where we're going to take a look at the new Star Seller badges system that Etsy is currently testing out. You may hear some hammering in the background. That's because my husband Nick is currently working on some of our jewellery downstairs, but I really wanted to get this video done, so here we are. So as of the 1st of April 2022, Etsy is rolling out testing of separate badges, not just the Star Seller badge, which is still there, but badges for each of the individual elements that go together to make Star Seller. Now, my theory behind why they're doing this is because they've seen a lot of people complaining about how hard it is to get Star Seller and how it's almost impossible for certain people to get certain elements of Star Seller. Now, this means, if they do end up rolling it out, that even if you can't qualify for Star Seller in total, you might still be able to get those little badges for different elements of it, like 100% for 5-star reviews, or for replying to messages on time, or for shipping things with tracking on time. Now, I've done a couple of previous videos on Star Seller, and if you've watched them, you'll know how I feel about the program. Not a big fan. For some of the reasons that they do try to ameliorate/address by offering this newer system that they're testing. But let's look at what they are actually offering and what some of the requirements are to get access to these badges. Okay, so let's begin by looking at the dashboard. So for those sellers who are testing this, now it's not everybody, they haven't rolled this out to everybody. This is what you're going to see if you are one of them. They actually have these separate badge elements here now. So as I said, you get a speedy replies badge if you keep your message response rate to 95% or higher. Now, if you're like me and don't work over the weekends, the way to get around this is to actually switch on an autoresponder on the weekends, because that way you will still, have an auto response to any messages, and that counts as a response. Rave reviews badge, keep your 5-star ratings at 95% or more, and the smooth dispatch badge, on-time dispatch and tracking at 95% or more. So they're still asking you for tracking, although they have given a few bits of information about that. So you can see here on my board so far, next month I would qualify for the speedy replies badge and the rave reviews badge, but not the on-time dispatch and tracking, because we don't do tracking with a lot of our orders. Okay, so now let's go look at what they're actually talking about. This is the announcement about this testing the new badges. So what's new? The fact you can earn these badges separately, which, I like that they're offering this, because for a lot of people who can't get Star Seller, it's just one element. And for most people, it's the tracking thing. Like if you allow pickup, if you don't use tracking for all of your orders, then you can never, ever get Star Seller. And some countries you can't achieve it, but they do talk about that in here. So here, the tracking part. Tracking is part of dispatch criteria if you're a seller in the US or your shop currency is set to USD. If you're outside the US or use a shop currency other than USD, find out how we determine the dispatch data here. So I just want to address this quickly because I know it's a big issue for a lot of people. So let's have a look at that. So we've got the dispatch information here. So here's the rules about exactly what you need to do when it comes to tracking, okay? So here is the orders of a certain value. So orders of a certain value will need to have tracking or a shipping label purchased on Etsy. The requirements are based on currency. So even if you're in another country, like for me, I'm here in Australia, but until this year, I actually had my shop in USD currency. I switched it this year back to AUD finally. But if you're in another country and you still use USD, you will still have to abide by this in order to get this badge, right? So here they've got all other currencies, tracking or a shipping label purchased on Etsy required for all orders. But for those of us who are using one of these currencies, they actually exempt people with certain cheaper product prices. So if your sale is worth less than this, and this is one of these is your currencies, then you actually don't need to provide the tracking or the shipping label to qualify for this. So that's a good thing. Now they also talk about digital downloads here. Okay, so digital downloads aren't taken into account for on-time shipping and tracking for Star Seller, but will still count towards your other metrics. And then it says if you're listing a made to order or custom digital item follow the steps in our guide to ensure your listing is in fact listed as a digital item. Because I've been hearing some people saying, if it's not listed as a digital item, sometimes it'll count and it's caused a lot of issues for people. Now, this part I think is what will still make people a little bit cranky. The number being entered is not a tracking number. The shipping carrier may not be supported on Etsy. Some of you don't have a choice. There's no shipping carrier that works. But this one here, what if I opt for local pickup or delivery? They still don't have a solution for this that is going to give you the ability to get this badge. So at this point in time, that's just the way it is. I'll put a link to this page and this page as well in the description below. So if you want to dig into more detail, if you've not found these pages before and you don't know the details, you can look through them yourself and see what's going to work for you. So, I think that this is a good thing, that they've, taken into account the feedback that as a whole, the system is not brilliant, because some people just are never going to be able to achieve certain elements of it, even though they're amazing. So that's a good thing. Now, they still haven't taken away this, right? Okay, and this is another thing I and some people aren't a fan of. To be eligible to earn any of these badges, you must also meet the orders, sales, and shop tenure requirements. 10 orders and 300 USD in sales before postage and taxes within the 3-month review period. Been on the Etsy platform for 90 days since your first sale. I'm not so worried about this part, because in your first 90 days, you're just getting your feet under you and it's not such a big deal. But having, number of sales and amount sold requirements, I don't really think that's fair, because some people might be amazing but just have really small shops and only sell stuff occasionally. So, but that's the system right now. So look out for this in your shop if you've got access to it right now. It will be in your dashboard. And you'll see this in the star seller section of your dashboard. If you don't have it yet, don't stress. They do say down here, where is it? Here we go. Customer service badges will be awarded today based on your shop's performance. And I actually saw someone in my membership community, the Thriver Circle, mention this the other day, that they've just seen these badges pop up in their shop and they're like, what's this all about? It's because they're rolling out this new trial system. So check your star seller dashboard. Badges will be visible to most sellers and we'll be testing them with about half of the shoppers on Etsy. Okay, so if we decide to launch these badges to all shoppers, we'll be sure to let them know. So it's still in the testing stages. Do be sure to give them your feedback on this. If you think this is a good thing, go tell Etsy. If you still have issues with it, go tell Etsy. You can go on the forums or you can send them feedback, because if they hear from you, they might, make changes based on that. So do have a think about that. So I'm generally broadly in favor of this. I think it's a good thing, because they are allowing people to, achieve these. Again, though, how important is it really? I mean, I'll put a link to my last video here where I talked about Star Seller and does it even matter? And the consensus amongst most sellers seem to be, no, it's made absolutely no difference on my shop or on my sales. In my shop, I'm having an amazing month at the moment, heaps of sales. I don't have Star Seller. But you know what I do have? 100 of mostly, I think it's 4.9%, 4.9 out of 5 or something, 5-star ratings, excellent ratings and reviews from my customers. I get back to people within reason, on time. I ship stuff on time. Not all of it has tracking, but that's so I can offer free, cheaper shipping. So I don't really know, how important this is or how much it matters. I think it's very much like the Star Seller in that a lot of customers probably won't even notice it. If you're looking at the front end of somebody's shop, let's go look at my shop. You're going to see it in this section here. This is where it's going to pop up if somebody's a Star Seller, or if you've got those badges, it's going to pop up here as well. So, but if you're on mobile, it's not going to be as obvious. And also, of course, when you have a Star Seller badge, when people look in search, they're going to see that next to your product as well. Again, I don't know how much impact that has on people, but hey, at least now you have the chance to do this. I'm not sure if in search it's going to show these badges next to your items like it does for the Star Seller. If you've seen that, let me know. I haven't looked around on search in the last few days, so it's possible that they are doing that. And again, only half of shoppers are seeing this, so even if it is there, some of you might not see it yet. But if that is the case, then again, great, I guess, if it helps shoppers buy your stuff and choose your stuff. But we'll see how it all pans out over time, and we'll see if the test works well and they decide to roll it out to everybody. All right, we'll leave it there for today. My name's Jess Van Den. Give me a like and let me know in the comments below what you think of this new sort of alteration to the Star Seller system. I'll put a link in the description below to my previous videos on Star Seller, so if you'd like to watch those, go do that now, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my future videos on how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.